Fine, good afternoon to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine and you all are doing well. I hope by God's grace you all are safe. So students, sorry watching online classes daily. So I'm thinking among you, all of you are watching the online classes daily. So please watch the online class daily students, okay? Don't waste time. So this is a precious time you get to study. So please don't waste time students. So listen the class daily. What are things I'm teaching? Please listen daily. Please study daily portions also, okay? Okay students. So welcome to our today's online class students. So now we are studying about chapter 3. So what's the title of your chapter? Scoping, isn't it? So in this chapter I have studied one very most important and expected question, 5 mark question. What's the question you have studied yesterday? Not yesterday, last week class. So what question you have studied? Just remember it students. Recall the question. LEGB rule. Isn't it very important and also most expected questions? LEGB rule along with types of scope, isn't it? So, have you all studied that question answer students? Have you all studied? So, please students, those are not studied that question answer. So, please students, within 2 days you need to study. So, that question you need to study, write it and see. Okay, because in that question the diagram is very important. Okay, so please study, write it and see, because the diagram and all as it is you need to draw. Okay, so once again we can recall what are the important questions you have studied in this chapter. Okay, what are the important questions? Define scope, very important, 2 mark question. Then define namespace. Then define mapping, isn't it? Then define LEGB rule. Then 5 mark question, define LEGB rule along with types of variable scope, isn't it? So this much of you have studied, okay? So today you are going to study another topic called module. So this also you have studied, you have cleared this topic. I think it's so, isn't it? Because the same topic you have studied in 11th standard also, isn't it? So what do you mean by module? So what do you mean by module? It's a part of a program. So module means immediately. So last year itself I used to say one example. Isn't it? What's the example? Or remember the students? So one, for example, the same example you take. You are going to study one big paragraph question. A big essay question consists of 200 lines. So you are feeling very tough to study the 200 lines question. So what you will do? You will split as a small paragraph, isn't it? For example, first 10 lines you will make a first paragraph. Next 10 lines, second paragraph. Likewise, 10 lines you are making as a paragraph. So how many paragraphs you will get? 20. 200 line means how many paragraphs? 20 paragraphs you will get. So if you need to get or if you need to write the full paragraph question, you need to write altogether 20 paragraphs. Then only you can get the 200 lines, isn't it? But based on your wish, you are feeling tough to study, no? So you split the paragraphs, isn't it? So listen now. The small paragraphs you are splitting, no? That is called what? Module. Understood? Consider one big software and one big program is there. So in that program you are feeling very tough to work with that full program. So to avoid that one, they are splitting into a small module. Okay. So what do you mean by module? Module is a part or small part of a program. Okay. So this type of modules, so in this and all followed in a high companies. Okay. For example, they are going to develop one software. Okay, so what first they will do means that software they will split into a different teams. Okay, for example, first group or first team contain 5 members. So first 5 members need to complete first module. Then second team will contain 5 members. That second team will need to complete second module. So like that, so that big software they will split as a 5 or 6 modules. So each team needs to complete a one module. So altogether they will combine and they will develop one software. Why? Because the same software, all the modules one person or one group is doing means it's very tough. To make the job easier, so they are going to split the program into a modules. Okay, so if you need to get the output together means you need to combine all the modules. Okay, so the process of dividing computer program is called what? Modular programming. Important one more question I have underlined over there, that one. Okay, what is modular programming? So the process of dividing a computer program into small is called what? Modular programming. Okay, so this modular programming allow the programmer to divide. So divide the big program into a small one, and it will, you, for example, you are splitting into a 5 module. To get the full output, first module if you are completed means you need to debug, means nothing but compile and running. So you need to run the program. So each and every module you are debugging or running the module independently. Okay, so examples they have given us. So the example of module is procedure, subroutine and function. So the program you might have studied as function, isn't it? So functions also we can say as module. So procedures also we can say as what? Modules. Understood? Okay. So next one is characteristics of a module. Very so define module and the characteristics of module. Very important question. Okay, define module, they will ask for 3 mark question or 2 mark question. Okay, then characteristics of module, very important question. Okay, what's the first point mean? So what are the characteristics of module means? Listen, first point. So each module will contain instructions. What do you mean by instructions? Just like a procedure, this like you need to do, that is instruction. Then processing, so processing of data. Then logic, so logic means nothing but how short form you can run. Okay, then data means nothing but information. So each module will contain what are the things? Instructions, how you need to execute that, all the details, then how short form you need to execute. So logic and data. Understood the first point? This is very important question. Characteristics of module. So define module and characteristics of module. Sometimes they will ask for even 5 mark question. Okay, so for that you need to write definition of module. Then you need to write what? This characteristics. Okay, so please note it down in your notebook. Those are textbook, please mark it. Other students need to write in your notebook. Okay, then second point. So modules can be separately okay, so already I said, so to complete or to get the output of the full full program, so you need to combine each and everything, isn't it? So for that first you are splitting into a module. So each and every module can be combined separately and stored in a library. Library means, for example, in C++ program, if you are saying means you are familiar with header file, isn't it? So hash include iostream, what's the use? So hash include iostream will contain all the input and output files. So if the program you are using cin and cout means you should use what? Hash include iostream in your program. So if you are using mathematical functions, what module you will use? Hash include math.h, isn't it? So likewise, each and every modules you are compiling and running the program and storing in a separate library. When you are needed that particular module, you should add the module inside the program or include the same the header file you are included in the C++ program. So module also, which module you need, that module you need to include in a program. That's the third point. Okay, so how you need to call the module? Okay, so header file how you will call in C++? Hash include. Likewise, each and every module has separate name and some parameters. In Python, listen, so C++ you are calling the header file using which one? Hash include the name, isn't it? But in Python, each and every module will have separate name and some parameters. So using that name, you can call the module name and along with parameters. Understood the fourth point? Okay. So fifth point, okay, module segments can be used by other module. For example, you are using one module. Okay, for example, in the consider C++ program, if you need to use mathematical function, you should use the header file hash include math.h. The same, if you are using math.h means you can use whatever mathematical function, maybe it's addition, subtraction, multiplication. Other separately you will use addition separate header file, subtraction separate header file, whether you will use like that, no. So it's a common thing. Likewise the module segment also can be used by other modules also. So understood the characteristics of module. Okay, what's the first point? Each and every module will contain instructions, processing, logic and data. Please now itself study. So each and every module can be combined separately and stored in a library. Okay, so modules can be where included or added or included in a program. So how you will call the module? Using the module name and some parameters. Okay, so one module can be used by other modules also. Understood? Define module and characteristics of module, very important question. So next one is benefits of using modular programming. This also very important. 3 mark questions. Sometimes they will ask 5 mark also. Okay, benefits of using modular programming. This also very important. What are the advantages or what's the benefits of using this kind of programming? First point is less code to be written. Okay, so no need to write more number of lines. So less number of lines you can write. So less code to be written. Understood the first point? Second, code is stored multiple files. Okay, so same code you can, or the same program you can able to store in multiple number of files. Understood? Okay, third point is code is short. Compared to other programming language, this modular programming concept, the code is very short, simple, very simple, and you can easily understand. Understand what the third point? Code is very short and simple, and you can able to easily understand. Okay, so using the next point C, using the same code you can be used in many or lot of applications. So same code can be used in large number of or lot of applications. Okay, so next point, errors can be easily identified because you are using the module concept. So 200 lines program is there, means if you are running, you are getting nearly 5 or 10 errors. So you will find difficult to find errors in which line. But if you are using the same 200 line program, you are using 10 lines, means you need to run the program separately, 10 lines separate, 10 lines separately. So you can find the errors easily. Okay, the next one, eliminating the need to retype the code. Using this modular concept, you cannot, no need to type the code again and again. Once you have defined the module, means when or which place or whenever you need, you can call the module by the module name. Understood? What are the advantages? First one is less code to be written, no need to write more or number of lines. Then the same code need to be, you can able to store in multiple number of files. Okay, so compared to other programming, this modular programming, the code is very short and simple, and also we can easily understand. Okay, then same code you can able to use in many applications. Okay, so next thing, errors you can easily identify. So no need to type the code again and again. One time you can type it, and whenever you need, you can able to call the code using the module name. Understood? So define module, very important question. Then characteristics of module, very important question. Then benefits of using modular programming, very important question. Okay. So next one is access control. So what do you mean by access? Access means you are going to getting or taking information. Okay, access control. So you are going to controlling something. Okay, so this is very important 3 mark question, access control. Okay, very important question. So it's a security technique. So what do you mean by access control? It's a security technique. Okay, what's the use of access control? Means short form we can see who can able to see the particular thing in the program. Okay, for example, your mobile phone, you are using the passwords. What's the use? Only you alone use your, for example, you are in your mobile phone, lot of personal files will be there. So the personal files need to be seen by you alone. So for that you are using the passwords, isn't it? Same way access control in the program, it's a security technique, particular thing who can able to view or use the particular thing in the program. Okay, so that will minimize the risk of the object. So here no need to, so because if you are already, you have studied about lot of keywords, isn't it? That is access specifiers, or remembering public, private, protected. By using that access specifiers, all the things you cannot able to access using the, some restrictions will be there. isn't it? So only they are telling in object oriented programming. So the same concept access control is using which one? Using which one? Access modifiers. So what are the access modifiers you have studied? Public, private and protected. Okay. So what do you mean by access control? It's a security technique. So what's the use of the security technique? Who can able to use the resource? Okay. So it will minimize the risk for accessing the object. Okay. So it's a so in object oriented programming, so it is implemented using which one? Access modifiers. What are the access modifiers? Public, private and protected. Okay, so in what are the object oriented languages? For example, last year we have studied C++, likewise Java. So likewise this object oriented programmer, most of this object oriented programming languages using which one? This access specifiers. What are the access specifiers? Public, private and protected. Okay, so last year we have studied in C++. By default it will take which access specifier? Private. If you are not defining any access specifier, means by default it will take which one? Private. Okay, so what do you mean by private? Private means only within that class or within that function alone you can able to use, isn't it? But what's the meaning of public? Public means you can able to use outside the class, anywhere you can use. Okay, so like this arrangement of public, private, so this arrangement of things we can call as what? Data encapsulation. This and all you have studied in 11. Okay, so have you studied this one? Yeah. So the arrangement of public, private or restrictions or everything altogether we can say as what? Which concept? Data encapsulation. Okay, so and also in inheritance concept you have studied parent class, private class or a parent class, child class, isn't it? So there also you can able to apply this access restrictions. Which class we need to access the which class? That is there also you can able to access what or provide this access restriction. Okay, so in Python, okay, so how you are giving this access specifiers? Okay, so they are not giving the access as a directly as variable or method. So instead of giving the method or this thing indirectly, they are using along with the variable name or method name, they are using single or double underscore. What's the meaning? To define the access specifiers. Listen carefully. In Python, C and C++, they are using the keyword public, private, protected. But in Python, instead of using this access specifier name, they are using double underscore or single underscore below the or before and after the what? Variable names. Understood? Okay, this is the important thing. So, but all the Python, that is all the members in Python classes are public by default. What do you mean by public? So public means, so inside the class also you can access, outside the class also access. Okay, but in C++ you have studied, by default all the members are what? Private. But Python just opposite. Just opposite means what? So public, that is each and everywhere you can able to access. Okay, what do you mean by public? So inside the class also you can able to access, outside the class also you can able to access. What are the things up to this chapter will get over. Okay, what are the things you have studied today? Module, very very important question. Characteristics of module, very important question. Benefits of modular program, very very important question. Then access control. Okay, very very important 3 more question. So please come after completion of this session, today's homework is you need to study all these 4 questions. So and also I forgot to say, so that LEGB rule question along with the types of variables go, listen today's homework. Please study and write LEGB rule along with types of variables go. You need to study and write that question, diagrams, everything you need to draw in your notebook. Understood? This is a homework for you. Please please students don't waste time. Okay, this is very very important question. Please make it use of it. Okay, so this chapter get over by today. Okay, tomorrow I'll start with that next chapter. So second chapter notes I'll send through the WhatsApp. Okay, this chapter also notes after completion of the second chapter notes I'll send this also through WhatsApp group. Thank you students. Take care.